name is Gabby. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Gabigales. You can find my yarn and sometimes project bags at uponicorgi.com. That's a lie. uponicorgi.etsy.com, and my computer is making a noise. Mute. You can find the show notes for this at onceuponacorgi.wordpress.com or under the video if you are watching this on Ravelry. We have a Ravelry group, Once Upon a Corgi podcast, under the groups tab, so feel free to come check us out. And I think that's our introductions. Thank you so much to all new viewers for giving us a chance, and thank you so much to all returning viewers. I know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and they're all fantastic, so thank you for checking ours out. The cat is playing with a plastic bag. We have all three of our co-hosts in the room today. We've got Iron, Baby Corgi, Audrey, Mama Corgi, and Jax, the troublemaking cat, in the corner playing in a bag. I'm gonna go save his life. I just want to start off with a giant thank you to everybody who has participated in the Luca Shawl knit-along that Carlene and Denise hosted with me. It ended May 31st after a month-long deadline extension, and if you finished, you are amazing. I know Carlene and one other person in the knit-along finished. I have not, which you will see soon, but that's a doozy of a shawl. So congratulations to everybody who participated, and thank you for giving it a shot. My show notes are down here on my computer, so if I keep looking down or clicking stuff, that's what I'm doing. The dogs are pretty wiped out. We went to the beach yesterday, so they're also a little bit grumpy. So if there's a lot of pausing, it's probably because they started getting mad at each other. Our other big news is I opened up a Beatrix Potter Yarn Club. I opened it sort of on a whim. Didn't really do a lot of announcements for it, but I figured I'll at least let you guys know. There's two sets of the yarn club, a sock box or a luxury box. Sock box is you get one full skein of yarn plus 125-gram coordinating color for heels and toes. The luxury is all new bases to my shop for the yarn, just to, you know, explore new fibers. So yeah, those are up on my Etsy shop, uponicorgi.etsy.com. I'm closing them June 10th. Or no, I'm going to close them the morning of June 11th, and that will give me a week to dye everything. So go check it out. And I think that's it for administrative stuff. Besides, that's it. Yeah. Not yarn related, but Outlander has been announced for seasons 3 and 4. Yay! Speaking of tea, I'm drinking my Mrs. Patmore's caramel cake tea out of my princess mug. There we go. It's got a little bit of a battle scar because Jax and I got into a fight and he knocked all my mugs off my shelf while Jake was at work one day, so. You ready to do this? That's just exciting news. I'm a huge Outlander fan, if you could not tell or have not watched any other episodes. So let's move on to some knitting. There's one finished object, not knitting related, and I'm wearing it. Ta-da! It's a Butterick pattern. I think it's 6534, and it's got a tulip back. I don't know if tulip back and an invisible zipper and pockets. I'm in love with it. I don't know what the content of the fabric is, but it's very drapey and flowy, as you can tell from the back. It was a little bit more difficult to put together than I anticipated. The directions were... It took me about 2 days to actually figure out what the directions said for installing, or for putting in a waistband. So, it could be a beginner pattern if you can have a brain like I did not for the week. But I love it. I did this in about 6 days. No Kristen afternoon dresses yet, but I tried. I started it Memorial Day and I finished it Friday night. So that's my finished object. It is my third dress of the season, and I've already got one more cut out. Not of this pattern though, so yes, I love it. This is like the third day I've worn it in a row. I wore it to the beach yesterday, and it was wonderful and light and airy and beautiful and got sand off quite easily. So the cat and the dog are playing. works in progress, however, are all under here and inaccessible. Speaking of the Luca shawl, since the knit-along is now over, I'll give you my update. I have completed the body of the shawl! Yay! And I am now stuck in the yarn and the needles. I am now on the applied border. Yeah, it's going very quickly. I did this much on Friday between all the commuting and standing around work. So I did the math. I should be able to finish this in 8 days if I do 6 repeats a day. So I'm hoping maybe today I can get a little ahead of myself and cut out a couple days. So the plan is to have this done by June 20th so I can wash it and block it and have it for June 24th. And I think I can do it. We're almost there, guys. This is still out of Jagger Spun in their Cinnabar colorway, 50/50 merino silk. And this is how much I have left of the yarn ball. So we're getting close. Yep, that's it in this bag. Jax is now crawling into a box of yarn. And driving the dog's nuts, if you can't tell. Guys, he's fine. He's fine. Nope. I've been pretty monogamous on this project just because I want to get it done, but I have put a little bit of a dent into some other... I've been trying to put a dent in some other stuff to keep my sanity, so the other things I've been working on are my Peppermint Mocha Socks by Cece Ullman, or Java Pearl, in her Coffee with Cece book. And this is the second sock. It's out of the mystery colorway that Kristen dyed up for her Gory Details Club. This is the first installment. I turned the heel yesterday, and now I just started the foot, so this should be done in a couple days, really, if I just sat down and knit on it. And I'm still in love with it, even though it's a second sock. Here's the first one. I just love the way the colors are knitting up. I love how fun the pattern is. It's easy enough to memorize and not have to look at it and, you know, talk and watch TV while you knit on it, but interesting enough to hold my attention. So there's also a very large bird outside my window now. And this is gonna be a really weird podcast. So yeah, sock number 2. This should be done soon and then put into my box o' socks. Since now that it's summer, all I want to do is knit socks, and I can't wear them because my feet will sweat off. So, yeah. The other thing in this bag is I started a baby cardigan for my friend who is expecting a baby boy in September. So I dyed up some yarn and I'm making her a little Tom Kitten baby cardigan. The top is my Roly Poly Pudding colorway and the bottom is the Tom Kitten colorway, and I'm just loving how they're turning out. I just did a little stripe of the Tom Kitten as a little bit of a detail. I'm in the body of the sweater, so it's just straight stockinette from here on out, and then I'll go back and do probably the probably like 2 or 3 inches of the Roly Poly in the sleeves and then switch to the Tom Kitten. And yeah, I'm knitting these on my US size 4 Carbons, interchangeables by Knitter's Pride. And I tried knitting with these for the Luca shawl and it was awful, but I like these a lot more now that I'm using a little bit of a thicker yarn. The yarn doesn't get stuck as much. There is a little bit of a drag, but not a terrible amount that it's awful to knit with. So they have redeemed themselves in my book. And I got my little, I think, my little bee progress keeper on it. Bees. So yeah, that's that. I'm hoping to get this done fairly quickly. Maybe by the end of June at the latest, because I also want to knit her current 4-year-old the Batman cardigan. So I want to get this done so I can get his done before September. What is this? Oh, that's my sock needle. And these are living in my beach bag. It's a really poorly put together first try at making project bags that I did way back when, so I don't care if it gets a little sand on it. So, my beach bag. This is what I worked on. I went to the beach yesterday, if you couldn't tell from all the hint dropping. So yeah, that's what I worked on while sitting on the... Yeah, stitching is still living in this bag over here. I haven't touched it in a while. I haven't really had the energy when I get home from work, with the Luca shawl and the blanket blitz cowl that Shannon from the Socksetra podcast, I believe, has ended. But I put in, oops, where'd it go? Oh, good, it's still there. I put in 2 squares, well, 1.5. This is my Claire's red dress colorway that I put in, and then I'm putting in the orange from my pumpkin spice socks. And I got a little bit, not bored of the garter stitch, but I kept falling asleep while knitting it. So I switched up a little bit and I started using my Knitter's Pride cubics, the US size 4, and they're the square ones. I don't know if you can tell. To knit on them, because I bought them and then I didn't need them for the project I was working on, so I felt bad just having them sit there. So I threw them in to do a couple squares. I think it worked a little bit. Well, we'll see. But I want to try and get the width of my blanket done by the end of the month. So I'm about 2/3 of the way there. I want to start building it up because right now it's just a very long napkin. So, oop! I almost just dropped my knitting needle in my tea. There we go. I figure if I keep watching Legacy Knits and their blanket blitzing, I will be completely and utterly motivated, or I'll just start picking up more projects. Oops, there. So yeah, that's my knitting. Again, fairly monogamous. Unfortunately, I have a lot of ideas brewing. I have a lot of yarn piling up that I really want to knit with. So I have a lot of yarn I've been buying because I haven't been knitting with anything except for the Luca shawl. So my mind's going a little, a wee bit crazy, if you will. Oh, no, come back. Okay, so spinning. I lost my braid. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, you're so tired, pumpkin. Spinning. I finished spinning up all of my Shetland. I had about 9 ounces total. I spun it up, I plied it up, and I gave it to my friend. And did not take a picture. I also did that with 4 ounces of alpaca. Spun it up, plied it up, gave it to my friend. That one was a pencil roving, and I learned that I don't like pencil roving. I'm not a fan of it. Oh, I have another... I almost forgot. My Outlander socks. I talked about Outlander and then I forgot about these. I made a big dent. I finished the first sock. I started the second sock. I did the heel turn and I am now currently in the gusset decreases on my Outlander socks. I did a double gusset and I just used some random black yarn I stole from Adrian while I was over my parents' house like 2 months ago. I'm doing the double gusset, which is the gusset decreases on the bottom of the foot. This one only has one because I didn't read the directions again and I messed up and didn't count. But this one will have, the one I'm working on right now will have 2. I figured it out finally. And this is out of Biscotti yarns and their Scottish Inspiration self-striping colorway that I got at Vogue Knitting Live. They are knit on my Dreams US size 1 double point needles, and this is what I work on while I watch Outlander because it's vanilla. And while I'm sitting there either weeping or screaming or laughing or weeping, usually weeping, or screaming. There was a lot of screaming in this past episode. I know I won't mess up. So yeah, if you don't watch Outlander, if you're over 18, check out the books. If you're not over 18 but you're really mature, ask your parents. It's not for kids. It's not for kids at all. But I'm obsessed with it. I'm sad my mom waited until I was 25 to give me the books. But I'm glad she did. She read them in the early 90s and then gave me them for Christmas. So that's why I am now obsessed with Outlander. This is a very much Outlander podcast. In my heart. Okay, I'm gonna put them away. I'm done. So yeah, and they are living in the yarn bowl that... Did she paint this for me? I think Jake's mom painted this for me at one of those like ceramic paint night things. And she gave it to me for my birthday and it's gonna get blown out by the lights. There you go. It sits on my coffee table so then when I sit down at the couch I can just pick it up. Where was it before that? Spinning. Spinning. Finished all that spinning. Don't like pencil roving. Mailed it all out to my friends. It's gone. Didn't take any pictures. But our next spinning plan was for Tour de Fleece, but I want this done before July because I also want it to go into the Random Act of Color knit along that the Periscoping sisters, they collaborated, both designed the shawl. So for my base color, I'm going to spin up my Narwhal Needleworks fiber. This is the Bottle Rocket colorway, and it's 100% Polworth. So this is going to be the main color. I'm going to do a chain ply. Goal is a fingering weight chain ply out of this, and then it depends on how they spin up, because I have a feeling they're going to spin up more muted than they look at the moment. I lost one of the back. Oh, it's over here. Excuse me, Audrey. Oh, smush. Smush. I'm sitting at my coffee table again. I'm so sad. So tired. The second color, I started pre-drafting these into their little nests because I want to start spinning, is, where's the tag? I got this part of the Sarah Textures Craft Fiber Club, and it was French Impressionists, and this was based off Van Gogh's L'Eau Soleil, and it's Shetland and seashell. Cecil? Silk? I don't know if it's gonna show up. There it is. Oh, there it goes. There, it's gone. Let's see if I can show you the front of the tag. There's some of it. So yeah, so this was a 2-color braid, like half braids. So one's the blue and one's the yellow. And it gets super blown out. So depending on how they spin up, this might be the pop of color, but as of right now, this is the complement, this is the pop. So we'll see how they look when they spin up. Oh no! Oh, I got tea everywhere. So yes, that's the spinning plan. I think I'm going to start that this week and get back into my crafting schedule that I usually have, because I want those all spun up before the pattern is released. Sewing. Lots of sewing. Lots of sewing. Joann's had 1 or 2 sales on patterns. Oh, you want to come down? Ooh. Joann's had a bunch of sales on patterns recently, and I got a whole bunch. Sewing plans kind of go into my acquisitions. I got a bunch of new patterns, and we went out and we bought a bunch of new fabric from Affordable Fabrics, and that was a result of this dress. So sewing / acquisitions right now. My current project, I finished this dress, and I also started a pair of shorts. So this is one of the fronts. Comes with pockets, so I just have to start attaching them and put the waistband on, and I'm super excited for them. So Audrey literally just rhinoceros trampled through my projects. Every single one of them. This fell down? That fell down. So, yeah, this is the fabric. This is all the fabric. So I got shorts, stuff to make shorts, started making shorts. We'll probably finish those this week. I bought this, I showed you last time. There we go. This pattern. So I picked up some fabric for that. So we have the top of the dress will be in this gray floral print. And then I got this, I wouldn't call them wallpapery, because they kind of are. It's wallpapery design for the bottom. So then they'll go like that. Right? And then for the pockets, I got this red. So that is cut out and ready to be sewn up. I'm super excited to break into it. I was very proud of myself while I was shopping, because I thought, oh, you got so many colors, Gabby. You're gonna have the most colorful handmade wardrobe in all of the land. I bought black floral. I bought black and gray floral. I bought black with a little bit of red. I bought red and black. And then I also bought black on black. this is going to become, where'd it go? One of these. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do one with the straps in front or in back. Try and show you that. Nope, it's going to get blown out. I will put it in the show notes. It is Synthety Rolly by Simplicity 1607. And it is going to be out of this black fabric with this beautiful, almost metallic-y black. There it is. That's going to be the dress. I'm so excited for it. I also picked up a bunch of dark blue for shorts. I have a pair of like small, like navy inspired shorts, but they're a little bit too small now. So I'm going to make the same pattern I'm making the box shorts out of. I'm going to make one out of these, and then my friend has a pattern for high-waisted sailor shorts, so I'm going to make a pair of those out of this too. So yeah, that's fabric stash. Essentially you have to buy it and then sew it immediately because my fabric stash holder, which is my Harry Potter trunk, doesn't fit any more fabric. I ran out of space. The same day we went to Affordable Fabrics, we also went to Joann's. And I'm just gonna say that their fabric, or their pattern sales have been so great. Oh god! I had to buy a new box to put my patterns in. So I picked up this for all of my patterns. It doesn't fit on any of my shelves, but it's filled almost. Most of my patterns I make a muslin copy out of, so then if I need to make adjustments, I can make adjustments on the muslin copy, not the pattern itself, but I've been getting lazy and stopped doing that. So, I picked up these bad boys when I bought all that fabric. So we got this one, which is the dress I'm wearing right now. That's Butterick 6351. I picked up some Gertie because I really like the tops. I have a bunch of that skeleton fabric left over, so I think I may make one of the tank tops and use it as like a undershirt kind of thing. I got vintage bralettes essentially to wear under like knit tank tops or the large side tank tops, or I have a couple sheer fabric shirts that I could use them for. I picked up some cute simple vintage sundresses for beach covers that you can't see because of the lights. There you go. And then I don't remember buying this one, but I own it now. Vintage bathing suits. And essentially, I'm probably going to use them to make bathrobes or just like beach cover-ups. So, that's what I got. I'm on a sewing kick. I want a handmade wardrobe. I now have 3 dresses, 1 skirt, and a pair of shorts on the way, another dress in the making. I'm getting there. I could have a full handmade wardrobe by the end of summer if this keeps up. Now I just need someone to wear them. Whew. The other things, I got a lot, guys. I'm putting myself back on a yarn diet. I know they didn't work last time I said it. I've got one thing coming in the mail. I ordered it yesterday. Thanks, Andy. That's it. I'm not allowed to buy anything else until Stitches. Hold me to it. Please, I beg of you. Until Kristen comes out with her lace weight base for the summer, if she does that again, so I can get it for my cardigan. So, I did a couple swaps, or I did the Grocery Girls Legacy Knits podcast swaps, and I got my swap package in the other week. I drank all the tea she sent me. She sent me a very lovely card. I didn't ask if I could say her name on the podcast, so I'm not gonna. But she sent me this adorable little bag of the minis. And she labeled them. And I haven't looked through them all yet. But they all look very soft. Let's see. Ooh! Lots of Never Enough Time. lots of fiber knit dye works, and a couple no makers. I'm super excited to break into these. They're so pretty, so I'm trying to knit everything in order is what I get it, so we'll see if that works. And she also sent me a couple little packets of coffee. The little Starbucks, little minis. I love coffee. I'm so excited to get into these. I've been saving them. I don't know why I put them on my face. Coffee isn't soft. I also did an indie dyer swap with Kristen. I am blanking on your name right now. The Notes in the Living Room. Knitting a Love Song. She's a fairly new dyer. I think we both started dyeing around the same time. And she put out a post on Instagram saying that there should be an indie dyer swap, like for new dyers, just to like get your stuff out there a little bit, kind of thing. You get some, I get some. Yeah, this isn't making any sense, so I'm gonna stop talking about it. So yeah, I sent her a couple skeins of some recently dyed yarn, and she sent me 2 of these guys. This is her Sunflower colorway, and it's on her new Merino Cashmere nylon base. And I just think it is beautiful. It's just subtle, the subtle bits of green. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. Yep, it's an 80-10-10 MCN. So maybe some just luxurious socks. I have socks on the brain. Oh, it's already covered in cat hair. I opened it literally 4 hours ago and it's covered in cat hair. And she also sent me her Minuet sock in her birch colorway. And this is just, oh, I love it. It's beautiful. I'm so excited for this one. Also, don't know what it's going to be. Maybe socks, maybe a shawl. I think it'd be a really good neutral in a shawl. And it's super soft too. It's her 75-25 merino nylon. 100 grams, 463 yards. So yeah, I got those today. I sent hers out. I think she got them. I think she posted it on Instagram. It's not a swap, but we did have a New York Knit Nerds meetup, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. Helen Stewart from the Curious Handmade podcast was in town, and so was Meredith from the Wool Gathering podcast. So we all met up at the Flatiron District, Brooklyn Roasting Company. Jacqueline was super kind enough to kind of get a group together and be like, hey, let's all have a meetup. And I got to meet Helen Stewart, which was super exciting. I wish I wasn't so nervous all the time, because I just sort of sat there and like, the whole time. Meredith was lovely to talk to, and I'm glad I got a spot next to her. And Adrian came down with me. Ugh. And Tanya, who I think she has a podcast out. I watched like 3 episodes of it. I will put it in the show notes. I'm blanking on the name. Craft and Pearl, Knit and Pearl. I'm butchering it. Tanya put together some lovely goodie bags for everybody. And it was super sweet, and I feel really bad that I didn't have anything. Oh, I almost got... Helen also, after Tanya handed these out, everyone was like, oh, I should have brought minis or something. And, oh, that's the wrong bag. That's why I can't find it. As the conversation went on, Helen just started rolling up some minis for everyone, so she gave me this. I forget what it is, but it's soft and it's beautiful. So I also got that from Helen. Tanya put together these little goodie bags, and she's got a little fiber bump and a whole stack of Nerd Girl yarn minis, and I love them. If you couldn't guess, there's much Doctor Who and a little bit of, this is Game of Thrones? Yeah, some Game of Thrones, Daros, Dreaming Crabs, Amelia, and TARDIS. So these will find a good home on the floor, apparently. Find a very good home in my blanket. So thank you, Tanya. She also included a bunch of teas, some candy, and a couple stitch markers, or a stitch marker and a progress keeper. So there we go. Which you can't see because it's gonna get blown out. They're adorable. So thank you, Tanya. Again, it was too kind. Not expected. A fantastic surprise, and now I have cat hair in my mouth. I wanted to say something else. I forgot. So, this has been sitting out the whole time, but I'm not gonna, whatever. Kristen sent out the last installment of her Gory Details Yarn Club, and so if you haven't gotten it yet, which you definitely should have, look away. If not, don't. It's fine. Here it is. It's gonna get blown out, and I'm really sad. I have to figure something out with my lights. It is Fig Bash, and it's on her Nouveau base, and I am in love with it. Like, I didn't think her yarns could get any better, and they just keep getting better. They just, oh, it's getting so blown out. Nope. There it is. It's got just beautiful, like, super subtle gray-green, and these dark, like, mustard green brown with specks of red. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I feel so weird knitting singles into socks, but she started knitting up a skein into socks, and now I want a pair. Or I'll just wear it like this again. Just yarn necklace. I'm so excited for it. I love it. So the coffee table I'm sitting on now sits in the corner of the bedroom because we have this like hand-carved wooden table thing we got from Jake's dad's apartment because we stole all of his furniture when we moved into our apartment for the first time. And I didn't know what to do with it. I don't want the dogs to chew on it. So it's sitting on the coffee table. And on top of this very nice table is now all of my new yarn. So it just sort of perches itself beautifully in the corner where I can see it every day. I love it. Alright, if you didn't want to see it, it's gone. If you were listening, I ruined the colors for you anyway. The next thing I got, I was super surprised I got either of these because, one, it's mustache yarn, and apparently up until this year, I have pleased the yarn gods immensely because I've gotten 2 mustache yarn updates. This is the BB-8 colorway. I got the Ray colorway a couple episodes ago that I showed you, and Adrian texted me saying he got a bunch of like Pink Floyd and Star Wars yarn off mustache, so I figure when I get into work I'll give it a shot. It'll probably be gone. Nope, it wasn't. So I bought it, and this is going to be Jake socks because I really want to knit him socks. I'm on like a, not nesting, because I'm not nesting. I just want to knit him things. Is that what being in a relationship is? I don't know. I'm also apologizing for my hair right now. So yeah, it's a self-striping colorway with the browns, grays, creams, and oranges, and I'm going to make this into a pair of socks for him. I don't know when, but I will. Hopefully soon. The other thing I'm super surprised I got a skein of because I'm awful at catching updates until now apparently, is the Jinx Yarn Confetti and Champagne colorway. It's her self-striping 5-year anniversary yarn. I got it on the Glitz sock base. I didn't plan on getting this because I've only started following her yarns recently. I met her at Rhinebeck last year, but I didn't, like, I knew who she was from Kristen mentioning her occasionally because Rhinebeck was about the time I just started watching podcasts and getting back into knitting hardcore. So I met her, but I had no idea who she was. And then I felt really bad because I didn't know who she was, and I felt like I should have, but I didn't. So, I don't know if you watch this, but I'm sorry. But I'm a huge fan of your stuff now. So, I wasn't going to get it because I'm like, I haven't followed her. There's only a limited amount. I know that people, like, have been hardcore fans of hers for a long time. And she put a notice on Instagram saying she was going to have an update at 2 p.m. for it on, like, a Wednesday or something. And so I was like, I don't know, I'll just look. And then I talked myself into it because it's a beautiful colorway. My lights are not doing it justice. I have to back them up. I will just tell you, it is champagne, pink speckles, gray, purple speckles, green speckles, gray, and blue speckles. And I just saw it, and I think she knit up a little bit of it. I started like watching her podcast hardcore, and I was like, you know what, if you can get a skein, do it. Because this isn't something I can just be like, oh, I'll get it next time around. She's only dyeing up 120. I got skein number 37. And I'm so happy I got them. I can't wait to knit them up. It's beautiful. It's so soft. It's beautiful. And now I just stock her Etsy all the time. I think I have like 4 things in my cart. I just haven't had the money to buy all of them yet, so yeah, I bought a lot. I've got one more thing coming in, and then that's it. I can't buy any more. That's it. I'm cutting myself off. Let me check my show notes because my computer keeps dying. That's all the crafty things. Hobby-wise, I went to the beach yesterday. I brought Iron with me. As you can tell, he is very tuckered out from it. Audrey didn't want to leave the bed, so I didn't make her. Excuse me. He played with a bunch of puppies all day yesterday. Penny actually just left the house about an hour ago. There was a dog festival in Westport that was sadly canceled today, but we went to the park for about 30 minutes before it started raining, so they got some good puppy time in. Adrian and I went to the New York Knit Nerds meetup, which was super fun. And it was a very nice weekend. It's been summer or it's been raining as of recently. So we're in spring. This is New England spring. It's either 90 degrees or downpouring. So because we have not been outside, we've been watching a lot of stuff. Like all of Parks and Rec. I rewatched all of Parks and Rec in like a week. I only remember to tell you what I'm watching and reading like every other time, so be it. I also finished watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars, amping myself up for what will be a knitting month of Star Wars. Knitting month of Star Wars! When I'm done with the Luca shawl. I think that's how I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to give myself 1 month to knit all of the nerdy things. And I can't wait. I'm still reading The Other Queen by Philip Gregory. It's been slow going. It's at the point where, spoilers, I know that Queen Elizabeth is saying, okay, you're free to go. We're going to send you to Scotland in about a month. They're going to send her off to the castle. That's when they're going to get the letters and say, you've been treasonous, and then chop her head off. So I know what's going to happen. That's the poor thing about historical novels. I love them, but I know what happens in the end, so I've slowed down the reading. And I've also been listening to The Bloodlines on Audible. It is post Return of the Jedi, pre The Force Awakens. Ben has just been born, Leia is still in the Senate, and Han runs a racing thing. So it's been very good. I will put the notes on the author and the narrator in the show notes because I cannot remember off the top of my head. But I have to go back and read a couple chapters because I fell asleep listening to it the other day. So it is very good. I love it. And it's Star Wars, so the production value is top notch. And that's it. Yeah, I started not rewatching. I'm picking up Peaky Blinders on Netflix because the new season just came out, so I'm going to rewatch season 2. And start season 3. Bloodlines season 2 came out. We're only about 2 episodes in. Computer died. And that's really it. 50 points for Hufflepuff. I'm only negative 120. And I didn't put in the new yarn, so negative 130. Is shop updates. I think I'm gonna revamp the shop a little bit. I've got the Yarn Club up if you want to go take a look at that. There you go. Hi, so I was editing the latest podcast, and in the shop update section I realized I didn't show you any of the yarn. Audrey, stay up here. It's now Monday evening. It's about 7:30. I just got off of work. Jake is asleep. He went into work for like 5 this morning, so I didn't want to wake him up. If I'm super quiet, it's because my neighbor's windows are right there. And I don't really want to answer the questions about why I'm talking into my phone on a tripod. So, shop update. A lot of it is one-of-a-kind stuff. A lot of it was experiments and happy accidents. Some of them I'm going to try and reproduce because I do really want to get them up into the shop. So I will let you know if I can. Let me know if you guys are interested in them. 2 of the colorways I will not be listing in the shop. I'm saving them for shawl design I'm hoping to get started on. So just let me know if you guys want to see those in the shop and I will dye them up. So the first couple are all regular colorways, so I'll have a witching hour on my Audrey base. Excuse me. If I cut that part out, I'm drinking my adult beverage today instead of coffee. So, I might have wee burps. Sorry. Dark Like My Soul on my Audrey base. And Like My Cold Dead Heart on my Penny base, which is the MCN. So those are the repeatable ones that will go up, and the shop update will be Wednesday. I'm hoping to get this video out on Tuesday. Oh, and a gilded teacup. It's a little bit lighter than the other one, so I'm going to call it a Frankenstein just because it's not, like, you can definitely see the tonality difference between these two, so I'm calling it Frankenstein. Some one of the kinds, I called this one Too Blue For You, and it's on my Cecil DK base, which is the baby alpaca wool and silk. It's a single ply. So that will be up. This one I'm calling Mulled Wine. I'm going to try to recreate it. I have an idea of what I did, but I'm not positive. So my screen is making everything look a little bit green and yellow. It's a little cloudy. This should be perfect for photography weather, but who knows. So this is Mulled Wine, and it is on the ginger base, which is the gold stellina. This is, it looks like the Romantics, but it's not. So I called it I Drink and I Know Things. And this is on the penny base. You can't see that one. And then this one was the happiest of accidents. I was playing around with ideas for the yarn club, which is out, which I mentioned in previous past segments in this episode. And this came out, and then I was watching Succetra with Shannon and I want to say Jenny, her friend, Jeanette, not Jeanette. I think it starts with a J. They were doing a game of, like, I say a yarn name, you describe what it looks like, and one of the names is Watermelon Frenzy, and then I accidentally dyed up this, and this is definitely Watermelon Frenzy. I love it. I'm gonna try and recreate this one. I think I know what I did wrong to get this, but not what I wanted. And this is on my ginger base, so this will be up in the shop. And then these two will be repeatable colorways. They will not be in the shop. I'm going to design a shawl out of them. And this one is inspired by, there's a rose in my parents' front yard that blooms like once in the dead of winter, like when everything else looks disgusting. It's just sort of like, I'm here in amidst 4 feet of snow. So we have Confused Rose. Try to get a closer look. And this is on my penny base. And then this will be matched with, I essentially dye my stuff based off of fun names that I like. I was talking to Allie about sweater colors for things, and she said she wanted something super, like, aggressively neutral. So I tried to make an aggressively neutral, but it came out more passive. So this is passively neutral on my penny base. And it's just a tonal blue and silver. I would say more silver with like a cool undertone, and I'm going to put these together and design a shawl. I'm so excited for it. I have no plans on when it will be even born, but excuse me. I've got the stitch design in my head, I've got the shape I want in my head. It is now just a matter of swatching and figuring out the math and then weeping to people who design going, how do you do this? So yes, if you are interested in these guys, please let me know. The other things I sort of mentioned in the segments I recorded earlier was sort of like a reboot of the shop. I do want to look into more of a variety of bases. There are, I think I just sounded a little tired and a kind of mean, so I'm gonna cut that out. But there's a lot of merino blends out there, so I wanted to try and expand my yarn base knowledge and depth into less merino, more other breeds, because there are a fantastic amount of breeds of sheep out there. beautiful wool. I'm not making any sense. Yeah. I've got some bags in the making. Finally. All the sewing has sort of kicked my butt into gear on making some bags. I'm super excited about them. They need to go out there. I just have to find the time to make them. So I'm going to revamp my my dyeing and my sewing schedule for the shop. And yeah, so keep an eye out. I'm super excited to see where this Yarny adventure takes me. And that's it, I think. Both puppies are passed out. My tea is done. It's been good. Is that it? I think that's it. I think that's it. So yeah, keep an eye out. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for checking us out. Again, you can find me everywhere on the internet as Gabigails, uponacorgi.etsy.com for the yarn. Show notes can be found at onceuponacorgi.wordpress.com or under this video if you are on Ravelry. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!